Welcome to African Tales by Quinn, where untold stories of Africa are told. Subscribe now and embark on a journey that celebrates the rich culture of Africa through captivating narratives and timeless wisdom. In the peaceful village of Poviji, there lived a loving couple named Salamatu and Baba. They were known for their kindness and hard work, and everyone in the village admired them. One bright morning, Salamatu felt something unusual. She hurried to tell Baba, and together they visited Jata, the village healer. Jata smiled warmly after examining her. Salamatu, you are going to have a baby, he announced. The news spread quickly through Boviji, and the whole village rejoiced. Months went by and Salamatu's belly grew larger. Baba was excited and they both eagerly awaited the arrival of their child. However, 9 months passed and there was no sign of the baby. The villagers started to whisper among themselves. Why hasn't Salamatu given birth yet? They wondered. Salamatu and Baba were worried too, but they tried to stay hopeful. Salamatu continued to carry her baby for 10 months, then 11 months. And still there was no baby. The villagers' whispers grew louder and they began to gossip more. Some said it was a curse, while others thought it was a sign from the gods. Salamatu and Baba felt the weight of their words but refused to give up hope. One day, they went to see Jata again. Jata, Baba said, it has been so long and Salamatu is still pregnant. We are very worried. Jata looked concerned. He examined Salamatu carefully but found nothing wrong. It is strange, he said thoughtfully, but sometimes nature has its own ways. We must be patient and trust that everything will be alright. Despite Jata's reassurances, the villagers continued to gossip. Some people even started to avoid Salamatu, fearing that her prolonged pregnancy was a bad omen. Salamatu felt sad and isolated, but Baba stood by her side, comforting her every day. He believed that their baby would come when the time was right. Each night, Salamatu had strange dreams. She dreamed of a bright light and 2 tiny figures dancing in the moonlight. She shared her dreams with Baba, who listened intently. Maybe these dreams are trying to tell us something, Baba said, trying to find meaning in them. The couple decided to visit Agliko, the wise elder of the village, hoping he could provide some insights. Agliko welcomed them into his heart and listened as they shared their concerns and Salamatu's dreams. After a long silence, Agliko spoke. There is a legend, he said, of a woman who carried her child for an unusual long time. In the end, her patience was rewarded with something extraordinary. Salamatu and Baba felt a glimmer of hope from Agriko's words. They returned home, determined to stay strong and wait for their miracle. The villagers continued to gossip, but Salamatu and Baba held on to the wise elder's story. They knew that sometimes the most remarkable things took time, and they were willing to wait for their extraordinary gift. Days turned into months, and still Salamatu's pregnancy continued. The villagers of Poviji had never seen anything like it. Their whispers became louder, and some people even began to avoid Salamatu, thinking that something strange and unnatural was happening. Salamatu and Baba felt the weight of their worries but tried to stay hopeful. One morning, Salamatu woke up with a start. She had dreamt of a bright light and 2 tiny figures dancing in the moonlight again. This time, the dream felt more vivid and urgent. She shared it with Baba, who listened carefully. These dreams must mean something, Baba said. We need to find out more. Salamatu and Baba decided to seek help from other healers in nearby villages. Jata, the village healer, agreed to help them on their journey. They traveled to 3 different villages, meeting healers and wise men, but no one could explain why Salamatu's pregnancy pregnancy had lasted so long. Each healer had a different theory, but none of them could offer a solution. Feeling discouraged, Salamatu and Baba returned home. They tried to stay hopeful, but the days felt long and difficult. Salamatu often felt tired and heavy, but she remained strong. Baba continued to support her, doing everything he could to make her comfortable. One evening, as they sat together under the stars, Baba noticed that Salamatu was unusually quiet. "What's on your mind, my love?" he asked gently. "I'm worried, Baba," Salamatu replied. "What if something is wrong with our baby? What if the villagers are right?" Baba took her hand and looked into her eyes. "I believe in you, Salamatu. I believe in our baby. We have to trust that everything will be alright." As the days went by, Salamatu began to feel a strange sense of calm. She continued to have her unusual dreams, but now they felt less frightening and more comforting. She started to believe that her baby would come when the time was right. The village elder, Agliko, noticed the change in Salamatu and Baba, called them into his heart one evening and said, "You both have shown great patience and strength. There is a reason for everything, and I believe that your patience will be rewarded." Salamatu and Baba felt comforted by Agliko's words. They returned home with renewed hope and determination. They continued to face the villagers' gossip and doubts, but they held on to the belief that their miracle would come. One night, Salamatu had a new dream. This time, the two tiny figures in the moonlight spoke to her. "We are coming soon," they said. "Be ready." Salamatu woke up feeling more hopeful than ever. She shared the dream with Baba, who smiled and said, "Our miracle is on its way. We must be ready." The days continued to pass, but now Salamatu and Baba felt a sense of anticipation and excitement. They knew that their patience and hope would soon be rewarded with something extraordinary. After 450 days of waiting, a day that started like any other day in Poviji turned extraordinary. Salamatu woke up feeling different. She felt a strong rhythmic pain in her belly, unlike anything she had felt before. Baba noticed the change immediately. "It's time," Salamatu whispered, her voice a mix of fear and excitement. Baba quickly called Jata, the village healer, who rushed over with his healing herbs and tools. The news spread rapidly, and soon the villagers gathered outside Salamatu and Baba's home, their curiosity and anxiety palpable. Inside, Jata worked calmly, helping Salamatu through her labor. Baba stayed by her side, holding her hand and whispering words of encouragement. After what seemed like hours, the pain intensified. Salamatu pushed with all her strength, and finally, the first cries of a newborn filled the room. "It's a boy," Jata announced, holding up a tiny, perfectly formed baby dwarf. The villagers outside cheered as the news spread. They named the baby Pogli, which meant gift in their language. Salamatu and Baba looked at their son with tears of joy and relief. Pogli was unique, not just because he was a dwarf, but because he had a bright and lively spirit. He looked around with wide, curious eyes, as if he already understood the world around him. The villagers were amazed by his tiny size but perfect form. They had never seen a baby like him before. Agliko, the wise elder, came to see the newborn. He looked at Pogli and smiled knowingly. "This is just the beginning," he said softly to Salamatu and Baba. "The legend speaks of two extraordinary children." Despite the joy of Pogli's birth, the villagers were puzzled. They remembered Agliko's words about the legend and wondered why only one baby had been born. Salamatu and Baba, however, were too overwhelmed with joy to worry. They were simply happy to have their beautiful baby boy in their arms. As the days passed, Salamatu and Baba cherished every moment with Pogli. The villagers visited to see the miraculous child, bringing gifts and well wishes. Pogli brought a renewed sense of wonder and unity to the village. The long months of waiting and memory seemed like a distant memory now, but Agliko's words lingered in the back of everyone's minds. The legend spoke of two birds, and the villagers couldn't help but wonder what the future held. Salamatu and Baba too remembered the dreams and the promise of another child. They stayed hopeful and prepared for whatever whatever might come next. Just 7 days after Kpogli's birth, something extraordinary happened. Salamatu awoke with a familiar sensation. The redeeming pains in her belly had returned, and she knew what was coming. "Baba," she whispered, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and excitement. "It's happening again." Baba quickly called for Jata, who arrived with his healing herbs and tools. Just as he had done before, the news spread like wildfire through Kpoviji, and once again the villagers gathered outside Salamatu and Baba's home, their curiosity and anticipation growing with each passing moment. Inside, Jata worked calmly and confidently, guiding Salamatu through her second labor. Baba stayed by her side, holding her hand and whispering words of encouragement. The hours seemed to stretch on endlessly, but Salamatu remained strong and determined. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Salamatu gave one last push, and the room was filled with the cries of a newborn. "It's a girl," Jata announced, holding up a tiny, perfectly formed baby dwarf. Salamatu and Baba's heart soared with joy as they gazed at their daughter. They named her Salamatu after her mother, but everyone affectionately called her Amina. The villagers, who had been waiting anxiously outside, erupted in cheers when they heard the news. They couldn't believe that Salamatu had given birth to 2 dwarfs just 7 days apart. As with Kpogli, Amina was unique and special. She had a calm and serene presence, looking around with wise eyes that seemed to understand the world in a way that no newborn should. The villagers were once again amazed by her tiny size but perfect form. Agliku, the wise elder, visited Salamatu and Baba's home to see the second miracle. He looked at Amina and nodded with a satisfied smile. "The prophecy is fulfilled," he said. "These 2 children are destined for greatness. Their arrival is a blessing for our village." Salamatu and Baba were overjoyed and relieved. They had faced so many challenges and doubts, but their patience and faith had been rewarded with not 1 but 2 extraordinary children. The villagers too were filled with wonder and pride. The story of Salamatu's miraculous pregnancies and the birth of Kpogli and Amina spread far and wide, drawing attention to the small village of Kpoviji. Days turned into weeks, and Kpogli and Amina grew rapidly. They were healthy, happy, and full of life. Their presence brought a renewed sense of hope and unity to the village. The villagers, who had once been filled with doubt and gossip, now came together to celebrate the remarkable gifts that Salamatu and Baba had brought into the world. Agliko shared more of the ancient legend with the villagers, explaining that Kpogli and Amina were destined to bring great change and prosperity to Kpoviji. The villagers listened in awe, feeling grateful to be part of such an extraordinary story. Salamatu and Baba knew that their journey was far from over. They had been blessed with 2 incredible children, and they were ready to face whatever challenges and adventures lay ahead. They held their babies close, knowing that their family was truly special and that their future was filled with endless possibilities. As the weeks turned into months, Kpogli and Amina grew stronger and more vibrant with each passing day. The village of Kpoviji had become a place of joy and wonder, filled with the laughter and curiosity of the 2 extraordinary children. Salamatu and Baba's home was always bustling with visitors who came to see the miracle twins and offer their blessings. Kpogli, with his lively spirit, loved to explore the village and learn new things. He was curious and brave, always eager to help others. Amina, on the other hand, had a calm and wise demeanor. She loved to sit with the elders and listen to their stories, absorbing their wisdom with a keen mind. One sunny afternoon, the villagers gathered in the central square for a special celebration in honor of Kpogli and Amina. Agliku, the wise elder, stood before the crowd and raised his hands for silence. "Today, we celebrate not only the birth of Kpogli and Amina, but also the strength, patience, and love of their parents, Salamatu and Baba," he began. "These children are a blessing to our village, and their story teaches us many valuable lessons." As Agliku spoke, the villagers listened intently, reflecting on the journey of Salamatu and Baba. They remembered the months of uncertainty and the unwavering faith the couple had shown. "From this story, we learned that patience and hope are powerful," Agliku continued. "Even when things seem impossible, we must believe that everything happens for a reason." Salamatu and Baba never gave up, and their perseverance brought forth a miracle. Let us all be inspired by their courage and love. Salamatu and Baba stood proudly with their children, feeling the warmth and support of their community. They knew that their family was special and that their journey had only just begun. Thank you for staying with us through this incredible story. Salamatu and Baba's journey reminds us of the power of patience, hope, and love. Mowgli and Amina's miraculous birth brought not only joy to their family, but also unity and wonder to the entire village of Poviji. Now, let us look at some moral lessons from the story. Number 1. Patience is a virtue. Salamatu and Baba's long wait for their children teaches us that patience often leads to extraordinary outcomes. Number 2. Hope in adversity. Despite doubt and gossip, Salamatu and Baba held on to hope, showing that faith can carry us through the toughest times. Number 3. The power of love. The love and support between Salamatu and Baba strengthened them, proving that love is a powerful force in overcoming challenges. Number 4. Community and unity. The villagers' eventual acceptance and celebration of the twins highlight the importance of community and coming together in times of joy and uncertainty. And now, I want to ask you this question. What did you learn from the story of Salamatu, Baba, Mowgli, and Amina? How does this tale inspire you in your own life? Share your thoughts and reflections in the comments section below. We had love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories. See you next time. Bye.